Hello, flirties, and bye. Just kidding. Just kidding. Not really. Sort of, kind of. This is a goodbye, at least, and until next time, until we flirt again, as Flirtations will be taking a break for the foreseeable future. When this started, the first episode debuted all the way back because it was so long ago in June of 2024. I remember the first episode I ever recorded became episode 2 with Fernie, who you've probably heard on the show several times. He's incredible. And I was so nervous to record that I canceled on him and then was like, Bernie, can we reschedule? Please, please, please. And of course, he said yes. And we had a great conversation. And that became the second ever episode of the show. And since then, there have been 148 main episodes of Flirtations, 22 Flirtinis, the mini episodes, and one trailer spanning about a year and a half. We crossed 200,000 downloads with the Flirtcast earlier this month, a perfect 5-star rating on Apple, a 4.9-star rating on Spotify. I'm truly just so amazed and grateful, and want to take a moment here at the top of this episode to truly thank you from the bottom of my flirty heart. Thank you so much for being a part of these conversations. Thank you for listening and for tuning in and for streaming and leaving your ratings and your comments and sharing the episodes and sending me messages and just letting me know what you think and just listening in the first place. Thank you so, so much, because none of this would be possible without you. I've said before, I and my cat Sugar, we can only listen to this podcast so many times. So this is truly for you, the flirties. Thank you so much for being a part of this. I'm able to sit back and just really reflect on everything and scroll through Spotify, Apple, YouTube, all the places. Some places I don't even know how the podcast got on there. It just appears, right? I hit post, I hit publish, and then something happens. Something technological happens. And I see all of these conversations with such incredible guests talking about flirting, of course, dating, relationships, mental health, trauma, anxiety, the brain, neuroscience, and so many more topics. And when I started the show, I wanted to not just create episodes, conversations that were informational, gave you some flirting tips, some dating advice, talking about relationships. I wanted the conversations to feel personal. I wanted you to get the information through storytelling. I wanted to hear about different things. I wanted to hear about the tips, the tricks, the advice wrapped into experiences, wrapped into whatever guest was on the show. Why are they doing what they're doing? How did they develop these different mindsets? Why do they think the way they do? What have they learned? What went well? What didn't? What works for the people they work with if they have a client-based practice, right? If they're a practitioner. I wanted the episodes ultimately to be storytelling episodes where there was a beginning, a middle, and an end. And I hope I accomplished that. If I didn't, let's just agree to disagree and say that I did. And these episodes will always be here for you, even though the podcast is taking a pause. All the episodes will continue to stream. You can even watch a lot of them on YouTube. I'm going to be working on getting a lot of the back episodes up on YouTube. So however you like to take in these conversations, please continue to do so. They're going to be there. If you need to catch up, want to revisit some past episodes, re-listen to an episode you've already checked out, please do so. I would love it. All right. So why the break? If you listen to Flirtini 22, the birthday episode, perhaps this is not really a surprise. And as I was thinking about what I wanted to say for this episode, the word I kept writing down over and over again was self-belief. I have operated from this place of hating myself for a long, long time, really as long as I can remember, certainly all of my adult life. And if you've listened to some of the episodes on Flirtations about mental health and depression, this is, yes, I've touched on some of these experiences before. And so I have been using a lot of Delulu, a little audacious confidence, a little fake it till you make it mentality to really push and propel myself forward to keep showing up in the ways that I want to show up and be here for you all. And I've had to adapt along the way and do this in ways that feel good to me. It's the reason I show a lot of vulnerability in the Flirtcast and in my videos, because I want y'all to ultimately do that in your flirting lives and your dating lives. And so I want to be doing that with you. It's the reason I hopefully bring some fun and humor into this, because I want to make y'all smile. I want to make y'all laugh. Not everything has to be serious, right? Fact, fact, fact. Don't do this. Don't do that. Stop doing this. You're doing this wrong. Like, we got to somehow find a way to smile through this, even laugh through the pain if we need to do that. It's the reason I don't make any money from this. I've only ever taken one brand deal, which I posted on my Flirtstagram, and it was so much fun, honestly, recording that video. They gave me complete creative free reign, and what I came up with was utterly ridiculous, and they went with it. But other than that, I've never taken a brand deal. The show has no sponsors. This is all self-financed, self-produced. It's a very expensive hobby, y'all. And to be honest, I will completely cave at some point in the future and take the brand deal, some of them at least, and get some sponsors for the show, because my goodness, would that not help me out a ton? But up until this point, hasn't happened. I'm gonna tell you right now, the flirt coach, from people pleaser to I say no now all the time. It's become one of my favorite words. You got to say no to some things so you can say yes to the things that are ultimately fulfilling, right? Ultimately in alignment, as we say sometimes. But back to self belief, I'm in this interesting place where, like, what's happened externally in my life has far outpaced the internal. So, a few examples: over 200,000 downloads for the show. And sometimes, like, I find myself thinking, well, you don't even deserve that, Benjamin. Like, the show is not that good. You really didn't try that hard. It could certainly be a lot better. That seems, you know what, it must be a mistake. There must be a glitch in the reporting. All the flirties on the socials: Flirtstagram, Flirt Talk, FlirtTube. Hello, thank you so much. It's like, there's a lot of y'all at this point, several many. And I find myself thinking sometimes, well, they probably, maybe they followed by accident. There are plenty of people out there doing a way better job than you are. Maybe this, maybe that, always kind of finding these reasons, these justifications, these excuses, almost hoping that something is going to go wrong because I don't feel I deserve for things to go right. It's simply been much easier for me to accept disappointment rather than success, however I want to determine and define success. It's easier for me to hate myself than to love myself, because that keeps the expectations very low. I don't really have to ask or expect much from myself if I don't even like who I am. And so I have been using that Delulu to my advantage. You better believe it. Delulu is the Salulu. However, the limit on Delulu does exist. At some point, you will run out of Delulu. You will run into a Delulu ceiling where the Delulu ain't going to help you push past the Delulu. And the only thing that is going to work, that is going to push you past that ceiling, is an unwavering, unfathomable level of self-belief that you've probably never had before. And that's where I am. That's where I am. I made a video recently about flirting. Surprise, no surprise there. And a few of y'all tagged Ted in the comments, the guy from TED Talks, as if that's a real person. If you're listening, hello, Ted. And some of y'all were saying in the comments, and thank you so much for that, by the way, like, let's get this dude, let's get the flirt coach on a TED Talk. And part of me was like, yes, I'm going to tag Ted as well. And if Ted called me up on the phone right now, of course, I would say yes. And I would go back to using some of that to Lulu. I would pull it out of my back pocket, my front pocket, my wallet, anywhere and everywhere. I would do the absolute best job I possibly could, and it would be a resounding success. I know it. But it's not going to happen, because internally, I don't believe that I am ready and deserving of that. And the universe knows this. The universe is kind of like Santa Claus. The universe knows everything. It knows when you're sleeping. It knows when you're awake. It knows what you're thinking. It knows what you had for breakfast. It is the third person omniscient point of view in all of our stories. And so the universe may not be giving me the TED Talk, not yet at least, but it is going to give me plenty of other tests, opportunities to say yes to prepare me for that. There was an amazing video that went around recently with Leslie Jones, and she was talking about this mentality of, you know what? Fail and fail often if you need to. Go on the date and have it be terrible. Have the first kiss and have it be awful. Get your heart broken, mess up, make mistakes. All of that is just life, and it makes this experience of living much richer. One of the phrases you've probably heard is YOLO, right? You only live once. And that one has always confused me a little bit. I understand the sentiment and the mentality behind it, but I counter that with you only die once. You live every day. Every chance, every moment you're breathing is a chance and opportunity to be alive, which I guess is just YOLO. Huh. Maybe I misunderstood it this whole time. But anyway, back to self belief. It's not just this experience where I feel like my external world is outpacing my internal world. It's also about getting my nervous system adapted to new experiences. So when a podcast episode does really well, right? When a video does go viral, when I do book the call, when I do get the podcast sponsor, when TED does call, will I be able to handle that? Will I be ready for it? What I can't do is shut down. What I can't do anymore, at least, is go into freeze mode, which is what I've always done. Just isolate, withdraw, retreat into myself, keep to myself, keep my thoughts to myself. Don't even write, don't even like journal or anything. Don't even speak about what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling. Just keep it all inside, keep it all bottled up, because somehow that felt better, that felt safer, that felt like it was the right thing to do. But behind all of those thoughts, feelings, and emotions is energy. And what do you do with that energy when you just keep it all inside? And I'm starting to channel some of that energy, starting to release some of it, and it's coming out as anger. I don't direct that at anyone specifically, but I've got to be able to release it, to get it out, to move through it, because energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but it can be transformed. And so, how can I transform this energy, this anger, this resentment, this shame, this guilt, right? This grief, this feeling of loss, this feeling of, sometimes we might describe the death of our old selves, which is really just the death of old beliefs and internal ways of thinking and internal ways of being, really established ways of experiencing our lives and living in this world, which translates into our relationships as well, of course, of all kinds, all relationships with friends, with family, with potential romantic partners, current, future, past. How am I going to let go of not exactly who I was? I don't want to let go of who I was and who I am. There are many aspects and characteristics of myself that I really do quite enjoy, but how am I going to let go of those things, right, that aren't serving me anymore, that are holding me back? Not so I can become who I want to be. I'm already him, but how can I have the internal resources, the mindset, and the nervous system that allows me to do the things that I want to do, and allows me to feel like I get to do those things, to believe in myself enough to push through all of the fear and all of the anxiety and everything else that comes up, so that I can come out the other side, whatever that other side looks like, knowing that it's about the journey, it's about the process, it's about the practice, not the destination, the outcome, or the result. And so that's where I'm at. And it's requiring some radical shifts in how I live my day to day life. One being, I need more time. Damn, y'all, these episodes, they're very time consuming. They take about 6 hours, if not a little bit more, to create from start to finish, from all the outreach, right? It's just me and the emails and the DMs, setting up all the interviews, doing the interviews, creating the conversations, developing the questions, what I want to ask, the outlines, doing the editing, the promotion, all the visuals, everything. Shout out to my sound engineer, mixer, Corey, who makes the episodes sound incredibly polished. Corey just gives it that chef's kiss. So then when you listen back, right, the audio levels are normal. There's the transitions in and out of the theme song, the music, all that good stuff. Shout out to Corey, because honestly, without him, some of these episodes would be sounding rough. And putting out 2 full-length episodes a week, sometimes a Flirtini, for nearly a year and a half, some called me crazy, and they would not be incorrect. I've always been an all or nothing kind of person. I'm giving it 100% or nothing, and this was my 100%. And now I'm giving you nothing after this, at least, except I won't be just like giving you nothing. I will still be showing up on the socials. You can follow me on there if you're not already. One of the other changes I'm going to be making, and I talked about this in the birthday episode, is I do work at an anonymous, very unidentifiable American grocery chain. That is how I support myself while I'm building this dream here at Flirt headquarters. That is the Flirt Coach, and spreading the mission of BFE, Big Flirt Energy, all over the world, so that we can not just have more relationships of all kinds, higher quality relationships, so that we can get out of our heads and into our hearts, so we can get out of our heads and into the flirt, so we can stop thinking our way through our lives, right? We're so up here in our heads, and more so start feeling our way through our lives. Yay. And so I'm picking up a 5th day there. I'm going full-time grocery mode. And that is also going to significantly cut down the amount of time I have to do the podcast. I'm also rededicating myself to being a student of yoga, and not just teach it, but go to classes at least. Gosh, I'd love to go every day, but 5 days a week at least, because that's where I got to go to transform this energy, y'all. That's where I got to go to release some of this anger, this resentment, this jealousy, this comparisonitis, this sadness, this grief, this I'm not good enough, this I don't deserve it, this I'll never get what I really want, I don't deserve happiness, I don't get to be in a relationship, I don't get to have the partner I dream of. I am going to have to radically believe in myself in a way that I have never believed in myself before. And also, it's disrespectful to you all, quite honestly, to not believe in myself in the way that you all believe in me. I think you believe in me more than I do. So thank you so much for really inflating my delulu, but also helping me through this very tender and sometimes tumultuous part of my life. Another change I'm making, which I alluded to a little bit earlier, is being more willing to say no, have strong boundaries, not do the things that I don't want to do, not put myself in places or in situations where I don't feel appreciated or acknowledged or valued, seen, supported, which means I'm going to be quitting one of my yoga jobs. And that's a really difficult decision that's been weighing heavy on my mind and my heart for a little bit, but I believe it's the right thing to do. And that's going to open up some time to have that virtual yoga class that I've always wanted to have, and share a little bit of movement and breath and flirt energy with you all. So more on that coming soon. And as we begin to wrap up the Until We Flirt Again episode of the program, it's going to be, it's going to be really hard not to debut new episodes for you all. This is the first week. There hasn't been a new episode coming out except for this one. And the reason for that is, well, we're ending the show for a little bit, but also there's nothing recorded, right? There's nothing on the calendar, and I miss it. I miss creating these moments of storytelling about our shared human experiences, about flirting and dating and relationships, and ultimately connection, because when we get right down to it, that's kind of all we have. It's all we have. Anyway, I'm not going to get verklempt here or emotional. Let's finish this. All right. This flirty says, oh, I'm going to read some comments from a video I recently posted that I thought were beautiful. I mean, all your comments, truly, honestly, are quite touching. I do see them. So thank you. This flirty says, I've been traveling through Europe since last week, and I have used your advice the entire time, entire in all caps. I love it. I can't thank you enough for doing what you do. You have helped me put myself out there so much more. Does it always pan out? Of course not. But I try, and I cherish the experiences and learn from them. Thank you, Benjamin. Much love to you. Much love to you, Flirty. This Flirty says, I love your videos so much. Lots of O's and so. You're like a smart, hilarious brother with solid gold wisdom to share and a beautiful way of relating and encouraging. Thank you. I appreciate your comment. I try and always come from this place of self compassion where I truly am a trained coach. Like I went to, well, not formal school for this. I don't have a 4-year degree, but I have several certificates from accredited bodies, accredited institutions where I really wanted to learn what is coaching and how do you do it. It is rooted in motivational interviewing, the stages of change, levels of awareness, and it's about helping you to the best of my ability get to know you, but beyond that, get to know your true desires, intentions, what it is you want, what it is you don't want. Because when you meet that resistance, when you meet that friction, when you have a goal, something you want to do, you want to flirt, go on a date, right? Make the match or whatever, what's stopping you? Like what is, it's almost like you're walking through quicksand, or like you're sort of like walking through like these gale force winds. Like you feel like you're moving forward but you're not going anywhere, your feet are just stuck. It's so hard, there's so much resistance. It's like you're pushing, 1,000 pound 2,000 pound boulder up a hill, and yet you're just not really going anywhere. How, like what do we do, and how can I help you ultimately discover the answers that are within you? Because you are your own best teacher. You are your own best coach. And that's really, yeah, that's what I'm here to do. This Flirty says, I'll read one more. Best advice. I kind of had to train myself to flirt and be social by not focusing on the reaction from other people, but giving myself props for being brave and trying to get over my fears because I didn't want the fear. Yes. Now, when I'm scared of something, if the reason isn't logical, I take it as an opportunity to be brave and ultimately proud. I can quit coaching now. That's all I ever hope for. Good on you, Flirty, and all the comments here as I'm scrolling through, and all the comments on all my videos. I just thank you so much again for your support and your likes, follows, comments, shares. None of this would be possible without you, and it truly is all for you. So thank you just so much for being a part of this. I have one more thing I want to say. I just don't want this to end. It's about flirting. Of course, flirting is a way of life. Flirting is a way of interacting with the world around you and everything within it, not just people, but places, experiences, sights, sounds, smells, all things that are alive, pets, plants. And through those experiences of relating and connecting to the world around you, of course, in the process, you're going to relate and connect back to yourself. How do you want to show up? And in this experience of showing up, what's coming up for you? Is it the fear? Is it the anxiety? Is it the overthinking? Is it the self doubt, the self criticism? Is it sadness, depression, anger, grief, embarrassment, shame? Is it on the opposite end of that vibrational spectrum? Is it gratitude? Is it appreciation? Is it contentment? Is it happiness? Is it love? Flirting is about helping you do all the things that you're scared of doing, that you feel like you can't do, you shouldn't do for whatever reason. You're not enough of this, not enough of that, or too much of this, too much of that. Flirting is about connection, yes, and also living your life in the ways that you want to live it, and living it to the fullest. YOLO, dare I say? Damn it, the phrase got me again. It's about showing yourself the way through life, through our connections and relationships, and building that incredible self belief along the way that you can do, you can be whatever it is that you dream of doing and being. And it is never too late. I'm a 40-year-old man who has dedicated my life to flirting. Don't let anyone tell you that it's too late or that your dreams are too weird. And I just want us to flirt. All right. I think I'm going to end on that note, thank you so much, Flirties, for being here, for being a part of this episode. Until we flirt again, for being a part of all the episodes. Please come back to any and all of them as much as you want. They'll be there for you. So many incredible conversations. The socials will be there for you as well. Tons of videos. I mean, thousands of videos and posts up at this point, and new ones will be hitting your feeds. I'll continue to show up over there, and also getting some back episodes up on YouTube if you would prefer to watch some of these conversations. All right. On that note, thank you again so much. I love you. I must now go change, put on my uniform, and go sell some groceries and do a little flirting there as well. All right, Flirty, signing off officially here at Flirt headquarters. My name is Benjamin. I'm the Flirt coach and gay Libra. Flirty, only one thing left to say and do, and that is wish you very happy flirting.